Gather round. It's time for your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group. Listen closely as your coaches discuss the culture, the economy, and the political scene, and how it affects your home and your real estate investments. Real Estate Chalk Talk is where you learn the science of buying and selling real estate and the art of living in your home. Your education begins in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey there, welcome to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, Hittner Group, all one word, hittnergroup.com, 612-627-8000. That's 612-627-8000. Give us a ring-a-ling-a-ling. Happy to have a chat with you about your real estate needs. And, of course, that call is all with no cost and absolutely no obligation. Okay, we're rolling into, I got a quiz for you, Kelvin.
All right.
How many weeks in a year?
52.
Oh, you got that one right. We're in the 14th week of the year.
Nice.
Rolling through the year. Hard to believe already. We're halfway through April. New pendings this week down, just a skosh, down to 897. We were at 903 last week. That was the high so far for this year. 897, down just a tash. Days on market are holding steady at about 30, little over 30 days on market for those that have sold. We've got the number of sold units through March, updated numbers. Through March sold, 6,300 properties sold this year, 6,900 sold the year before in 25, 7,000 sold in 24. So that's 2 years in a row. We're
going down a little bit.
Down, a little bit. Just a little bit.
Not horrible, though, right?
No, inventory is up, however. 6,500 homes for sale in the 7-county metropolitan area. What is the 23-county metropolitan area?
You got me.
I heard
I went Duluth.
Let's
Duluth and Rochester.
Golly, say that's like the whole state. Maybe they are just taking all of the metros and putting them together or something like that. But 7-county metro makes more sense to me. Last year on this time it was 5,600, so we're up 14%. Nice increase in units. So there's plenty of inventory available is the point. No worry about that. Month supply of inventory. Carver County. We talked about Carver County.
Yeah.
How that was coming on. That's
growing.
A little over 2 months supply of inventory, 2.22. Dakota County 2.1, Scott County 2.44. That's the high water mark. Hennepin and Ramsey counties are both under 2, 1.86 supply of inventory. I wonder why that is. I find that hard to believe to me, that the inventory, the month supply, it seems like they're moving too, but it's their market too. That's a spring market kind of a deal. If you got something that you want to sell in Hennepin or Ramsey County, get it on the market in the spring.
Did you say homes are moving faster? I'm sorry, I looked at something. Are homes moving off the market faster?
About the same.
Same, 60 some days?
No. The homes that are on the market that have not sold are a little over 60 days.
Okay.
The homes that sell that have pended are 30 days.
So what's that tell you? What's the story?
Well, the story is well prepared.
Well prepared,
and
well
priced correctly.
What do you always say? Good homes sell. Oh, I'm sorry, you're busy texting.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah, he's playing video games.
Candy Crush is awesome.
It's Geometry Dash.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
So the question
priced
is,
well in good condition.
There
will
it
still
is.
move quickly.
So the question is, what is the impact of this Iran deal and all that stuff? We had the.
Isn't it all just rhetoric for insider trading?
It is pretty much all rhetoric for insider. I think it is.
Oh,
I think it's like
no
much.
Question.
No question.
The swings are enormous.
I know.
And the options activity and everything that's happening, like prior to Trump going out and saying a bunch of stuff, it's like,
it was the biggest.
Somebody clue me in. Like, what should I be doing here?
Yeah.
Well, they have to
That's
catch
what
up
you
to
wish
Nancy
you're doing.
Pelosi. That's all.
Yeah, or anybody else.
Wow, it's not. I mean, it's both sides.
It's 100%.
Yeah.
So
And actually, it's more probably on the right side right now.
probably get me in there.
Yeah. I'm like, God bless you.
Yeah.
Where do we do this?
Where do we?
Hello.
Give me some info. If anybody's listening, call me up.
So this anyhow, this straits are going to open up, and they got to get the oil prices down, and you know what that means. We got the midterm elections coming, so this thing is going to get wrapped up ASAP, just because we got to have time to pat ourselves on the back for a couple months before the midterm. So plan on some
Things got to improve.
things got to improve quick,
shift, man.
Yeah, it doesn't take long. I mean, the swings don't take long at all. As soon as because it's all the futures market. And there's so much oil floating around out there that.
Do you think it shifts though very much? Because we have the 2-week ceasefire. I don't think that holds. I think we're back in the mix shortly.
Oh, I do too. I mean, there's still like missiles on all the proxies around, and
Lebanon.
Israel is still.
Lebanon. They
haven't
came
agreed
and
to
said-
anything.
Yeah.
They're not going to. Yeah,
A little unsettling.
it's a
It's a
little.
little unsettling, and it does impact the
It
markets
does,
a
right?
bit, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and so that boils down to the potential softness of the real estate market, because you have a large portion of the market who would maybe be more cautious and slow their process down. But we're busy. I mean, we're busy. We're listing houses. You got a lot of stuff coming on the market. We've got a lot of files in process because people have to move. I mean, they've got kids being born, kids moving out.
It seems like it's taking longer though for people to make decisions on stuff. The amount of pre-approvals we have is a stack of this. I mean, it's just a lot. We have a lot, and they're just not finding stuff. Not sure. Not everybody's just like. No one's like has that conviction. Like, I'm going to go out this weekend and let's find something. There's plenty of homes on the market.
Well, that's
That's
more of a traditional look at things, though, Calvin, and I like that, because people can be more thoughtful. When someone goes out and buys the first house that they've seen, and there are multiple offers and they overpay for the house, I get nervous about that.
Yeah.
That's a problem to me. It's just like you haven't even seen enough to make a thoughtful decision
Right.
about it.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah, and
so
the likelihood that the transaction is going to ultimately
or
get to
that
closing.
you're going to be happy 6 months after closing, and not have regrets and all that. I would rather people looked at a few more houses, and I'll go out there. I don't mind going out there. I'll go out there and look at, if you want to look at 20 houses, we'll look at 20 houses. But when you pull the trigger, I want you to be convinced that this is the right one for you.
Yeah.
Right.
I just think that's better than being under the gun. Just like selling your house first, and we're starting to see more contingent offers come into play now, which is more of a traditional mindset.
Are those getting accepted? Because a
Well, they are.
non-contingent comes in and
Well, then
You'll
you
win.
get bumped. You get bumped.
Okay.
And that's the other thing. But if you're able to buy, and you see the house, and you have looked at a lot of homes, and you see one that you like, then you want to lock it up. But maybe you're just not comfortable with that. And I always ask, if someone else came in and bought this house, would you be disappointed with it? And the answer, yes, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Okay, then let's do it contingent, because in this market where it is a little bit slower, your likelihood that you're going to sell the house in the first showing is remote. So you need to be prepared to make dual payments on the property for a couple months.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? And a couple months would be fine, but I wouldn't want to go 6 months. Then maybe we should go contingent.
one of the things I'm seeing right now with some realtors I do some stuff with as well, they're closing on the first of the month. Remember how we always close the end of the month? They close on the first of the month. Like, do it on the 31st. We'll be ready. Like, no, on the first, because then you just pay their philosophy is now you just pay prepaid. You pay some interest for that month, but it's not as much as your payment. And then you've got that month, the following month. So it gives them like 2 months now before they have a payment come due.
So typically,
Versus
just
1
so
month.
that the listener understands, so if I closed on the last day of the month,
Yeah, you close at the end of April, you skip May, June 1st.
June 1st is your
But
first
now what they're
payment.
doing is saying let's close May 1st, right? And we skip. Now we don't have a payment in May. We don't have a payment in June. July is my first one. So now they're saying, hey, I get 2 months to kind of wrap up my transaction before I have a payment.
That's a shell game, though.
So, well, it's
I mean,
a
'cause
little
you
bit.
basically
it's a little
made
bit
your
less.
May payment.
But
There's
they,
no,
but
there's
they
no
buried
princi-
it in.
Yeah,
but
that they
it's buried
buried
in the other, and it's a little bit less. I did it because I was trying to push on the other. I'm like, oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
Is the cash to close higher though?
a little bit, but not much.
Not much.
No.
Isn't it
So-
the whole month's interest?
Yeah, interest, but
Well,
You
but
know,
there's no principal
there's
in
not
the
a lot of
first month's
principal,
payment. $5.23.
So.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's
But it feels
But you
better.
It feels better. Yeah.
And you don't pay the property taxes or the insurance, right?
Okay.
So that's where. So it's just the whole point
It's
is
another
we're
way to do it.
extending time for people to get their property sold, handled, so that they don't have double payments.
Yeah,
You know?
we had that same philosophy. We listed one this week, contingent. We bought a contingent, and listed the property. Our closing date on the contingent property is end of June.
Okay.
We push that out 3 months. So that gives us hopefully plenty of time.
Wow.
And we can always move it up. I mean,
Yeah.
people will be glad to move it up. The house is vacant. So.
Yeah, you can make a move, get it out on the market, get it sold. I'm sure you'll do quickly with the way the preparation's been going to get these listings on the market. Price them well, get them cleaned up, and hopefully we can get you moving on soon. If you want to move this spring still, give us a call, 612-627-8000. That number again is 612-627-8000, or visit us online at hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com, and we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, 612-627-8000, 612-627-8000.
Nailed it.
Mike, Wow One Day Painting, getting calls every week from random people who want to be painters or trying to pick up a couple of bucks by painting. I don't understand it, how all these guys, what's the, our as we reported last segment, the number of sold properties is down. One thing I didn't mention is how many properties were sold where we're reporting active listings, 6,500 active listings. About 10% of those are sold subject to inspection. So that makes, that how many are really available change. The difference between the homes that are for sale and the homes that are sold is about 30 days. And much of that difference is in home prep. And it's amazing to me how you can change a house by a paint job. It's the same house, and look at it, but we do a lot of this probate work, and you go in, you got all these pictures on the walls, been hanging on the walls for 20 years, right? And you pull them off the walls.
You almost see an outline.
You can see
right?
an outline, a
Crazy.
shading of that thing. Boy, when you pull those things down, it looks a little rough, And then, of course, it looks like someone took a shotgun to the wall, and so you do all that repair work. What about I'm thinking about my own house now, because my house is 25 years old now, and I got a lot of corners where the sheetrock, the tape is letting loose and stuff like that. How do you work that?
Depending on the situation, if it's still stable enough, we can either caulk it, patch it, whatever. Otherwise, we'll cut it out and retape and then patch. It's just a combination of things.
There'll just be a lump there.
There'll be
Just a lump.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
little
Yeah, we won't sand it or anything else.
little caulk in there.
Let her dry, paint her up.
Spatula.
Yeah.
Fine.
What do you find the market is going for you in terms of like locations or commercial versus residential? Where is the market moving in for your business?
For our business, it hasn't changed year over year in terms of the mix for commercial and residential. Commercial, we do probably 15% of volume through the year. Residential is the rest. In terms of locations, it's across the board. I mean, our territory goes from Maple Grove diagonally all the way down to Farmington Rosemont.
Okay.
And then we have another franchisee up in Forest Lake that covers the northern tier.
Okay. Difference between the newer homes, by newer I mean probably from about 1960 on, where you're dealing with sheetrock, older homes, lath and plaster.
Yeah.
Any difference in the prep work there, or how does that?
There's a little difference in prep work and product that you use. We're actually going to go out to a house in a couple days, take a look at some patching for plaster. So we just have to take a look at the scope. We don't, as a painting company, we don't necessarily hang full sheets of drywall, but we will do drywall repairs, minor, major holes, things like that. Same with plaster.
What about ceiling work?
Yeah, we do texturing. We take it down.
You do the knockdown? Like
the
you'll
knockdown.
take down the
Popcorn.
Popcorn?
The acoustic.
Okay.
Yeah. That old junky yellow stuff. Yeah. We'll take that down and we'll retexture. Otherwise, we'll
Do you
go flat.
scrape it down or vacuum it off, or what do you do with it?
Well, first thing is I pray that it's not painted,
Okay.
because then it'll come off very easy.
Oh,
Yeah. If it's been painted, that's another topic.
then it comes down in chunks.
Can't you just take a good putty knife, a wide one, and just go? Whoo?
Sure, if it hasn't been painted, mist it with a little water and let it sit, and then scrape it.
Yeah.
But if it's been painted, that's another story. You're sanding, you're scraping, and then you're skimming the entire ceiling.
But you would still, if you just did that, you'd think there'd be some little texture there. Then you just paint it. Has a little texture. Looks beautiful.
I've known some customers that have done it themselves that way.
Yeah.
They've actually taken the nubs off of the acoustic.
Yeah.
There you go.
And
That's
they
what I'm
painted it.
talking-
Yeah.
I think that's
Not,
great.
it's to each their own.
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. It has that Spanish look.
Yeah.
Spanish
Junior
texture
did
look.
that through his whole house. It looks
Oh,
great.
see?
Fantastic.
Otherwise, just paper. Do wallpaper. I was in a house in Woodbury years ago, and the ceiling was wallpapered.
The
Yeah.
ceiling was?
Yeah.
It was like
Shocking.
18 to 20-foot ceiling
Yeah.
Holy
from
cow.
ceiling down to the floor, wallpaper. everywhere.
Wallpaper's kind of back.
It is kind of coming back.
Yeah. Over the
Yeah,
last
and I've
5
seen
years.
Yeah, and I've seen some gridded ceilings where they got in the center of the grid is wallpaper
Yeah.
up in there.
Really?
Yeah, actually, it looks pretty good.
Well, yeah, you put that first, and then you put the grids over. It looks great. I
Yeah. No, you don't do it that way.
bet. Yeah, you would.
Then you can never get it back
You
down.
can never
That's
get it
right.
back down.
Or it's just a giant pain to remove it.
What about? So I'm in a house yesterday up in north side of town, and there's wallpaper all over,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, ooh, what do you do here? Because you don't know if that's been sized or not. Do you do
Right.
that removal?
We do removal, and again, to your point, we don't know if it's been sized correctly or not. If it's textured,
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's
it's
size.
Size.
sizing is the application process and making sure it's professionally done. If you don't do it correctly, you're going to be taking it off in little postage stamps.
Oh,
Otherwise, you can
because it
steam
just
it,
kind of peels.
peels off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if it's not sized, you're taking a lot of times the surface of the wallboard
Right.
off.
But won't they usually? Can't you go over it with? I've seen it done where they just go over like with a kills or something. They just like a couple
So
layers and then paint over.
That's
the
what I was going to
wallpaper.
get to. It
Yeah.
depends on if it's textured wallpaper or not.
Okay.
If it's not and the seams are tight, we can paint over it. We'll prime it and then we'll paint it.
Okay.
You can't tell the difference. Basically, you have to think of drywall as 2 sheets of paper over gypsum. You're just putting another
Fair.
layer over the top,
Yep.
leaving that wallpaper.
As long as it's not a textured wallpaper.
Right.
And there's sometimes when the wall is all chewed up that you actually can buy paintable wallpaper.
Yeah.
And you hang the wallpaper, and it's meant to be painted over. I've done that.
I show you. Remember that textured stuff? Well, it was like a,
1970s orange
it's like a
wallpaper.
textured wallpaper.
Yeah,
that we
yeah,
had.
yeah.
The
Gross.
fuzzy stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't fuzzy stuff. Did we have fuzzy stuff? No, this
No.
was actually, it was white.
It was white.
It
was
looked
some
like
kind of a-
newsprint.
Oh.
And you hang it on the wall, and it has lines, and it's like swirlies, and it's high hiding. So if you've got defects in your walls, you put that on there, and then you paint it. And it
It
cleans
did
up.
look like a doily kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Over
On
your
your
wall.
wall.
Over your whole
Yeah.
wall.
On
Yeah.
your wall.
Then you paint it whatever color you want. But
Awful. Awful.
So I was talking to a gentleman, older gentleman, and he was like, oil-based paint. I want oil-based paint. I don't want any of this water-based paint. Is there still oil-based paints out there?
There is in this market for we use oil-based primer. We don't do oil-based paint.
Oil-based primer.
Oil-based primer is like for the wallpaper because you don't want anything seeping through.
Okay.
Plus, if you use a water-based primer on wallpaper, it'll release the glue or the
Yeah.
sizing. It'll come off.
Okay.
So we use oil-based for that for a particular situation, but we don't do that for painting, for top coat. It's just not necessary.
Okay. So even the like the trim and
Trim the trim we can do either or.
Okay.
The suppliers have hybrids, the Alkyd hybrid type products that we can use, and that works really well as well.
That's smooth.
Different
and,
options.
Smooth and glossy. What do you do in a case where you've got a property that had like wood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they had their finish on it, whatever kind of finish it was. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of peeling off, chipping off, and you come back in, and you want to go over it with paint or go over it with more finish. Do you have to strip it?
Are you
or-
talking about trim?
I'm talking about trim, window trim. Because
Oh.
a lot of times people are replacing windows, and they don't need to
Yeah.
replace a window.
No, I mean if it's already been painted, pre-painted, whatever, we'll take the gloss off, we'll sand it down lightly, do all those things, clean up any nail holes, caulk, fill, whatever we have to, and then we'll top coat it. Whether it's a matter of bagging it up and spraying it or brush and roll, it depends on the situation, what the client wants.
Bag it and spray it. Did you get that?
Got it, bag it and spray it.
Bag it and tag it.
That's not for your spouse or anything.
No.
Okay, bag it, tag it. No.
My point is that many people look at windows and think, oh, these windows have to be replaced, and they
No.
don't. They do
times
not
no.
have to be replaced. A nice finish and redo, especially with a casement window. A casement window, I mean, unless it's like rotting out, they last forever.
I was in one yesterday, a bungalow, and it was a bay window, and the sill, is a larger, wider sill, had soft points. It was rotting out. So
From what, plants being on
from
it?
moisture from the winter, yeah.
Watering plants.
Probably that,
across
too.
it.
Probably.
Probably
No
that
couple
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to have that repaired. I mean, you could either Bondo it, otherwise just put another layer over it of wood. But they've got some ideas. They're going to get that fixed before we come in.
Wow.
So they're going to take care of it.
They're going to take care of that. We'll come in and paint it. Yeah.
So they'll do it.
Yeah, they have a handyman that's going to come in and take care of that particular part. It's a carpentry type piece of work, and fill it and take care of it. We'll come in and paint.
So when you go in now, is everything by the square footage? How do you figure pricing on stuff like that?
I have a production. So there's contractors out there that'll walk in and they'll say it's X dollars just by looking at it.
Yeah.
I've never liked that because I don't want someone doing that to myself. So we have production charts. We will literally measure square footage wall space. We have a production chart. We can figure out labor hours, supplies. The idea is to leave only about a half gallon of paint remaining for you for touch-ups, and that's it. I don't want to leave you 5 gallons because I just didn't do my calculations correctly.
Right. So it's accurate.
It's accurate as possible. Yeah.
And
Okay.
the customer can probably feel better about that then.
I think they do. I mean, I've been in a house before. A contractor walks in, he's gone in 5 minutes. I spent an hour
Yeah.
explaining the process, and they went with me.
Where can they get a hold of you?
WildOneDayPainting.com. Otherwise, is 888-969-1329.
Nice. Thanks, Mike. We'll be back after these messages with more from Wow One Day Painting and Real Estate Chalk Talk. Log on to our website, hittnergroup.com, HITTNER group.com, and we'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk with the Hittner Group, hittnergroup.com, 612-627-8000. Wow One Day Painting. Mike's in the studio back from Spain. Traveling abroad.
Yeah, I don't live there. Let's make
Just
sure we
back
clear
from
that up.
Yeah, well, he's out there. You wrote it off, right? Because you're checking out
yeah,
the painting
right.
techniques and
Spanish
all that.
class and all that, yeah.
Absolutely. You got to
Yeah.
have it. So you can reach out to all of the communities in the Twin City metropolitan area. Tell me what your most... First of all, I want to know what your favorite thing to do is. What your not fishing, but what your favorite application would be when you're in work related.
The most rewarding, I think, would be probably cabinets.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Well, because it's usually a drastic color change. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of times, people will just want us to come in and either do a refresh on the walls because they're listing the home. Otherwise, it's just a slight change in color. But usually, the kitchen cabinets are a big change in color.
How do you deal with a husband and wife?
No, I don't.
Okay, who were one of the parties wants to change it drastically, and the other one does not.
I leave it to them. I'm out of that.
Do you
picture.
counsel them in some way,
No.
or can you show them?
No, I mean the most I've done is someone will tell me is like, we just want a white, and I push back like, well, there's about 100 different whites.
Isn't that the truth?
And I will not agree to a color unless I have it in writing.
Okay.
You know, from my own suggestions, because
Right.
that has backfired on me a couple times in the past.
So here's the paint chips.
Yeah,
You tell me which number.
and then we'll put it in writing, and you agree to it.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be careful with that.
I actually took pictures of a house this week as I was touring through it because I had some applications on their center island.
Yeah.
And the baseboards were different than the rest of it was cherry, and then on the bottom they had some like antiquing or something. I thought that really looked sharp. And then above the hood vent, same thing, had this antiquing look up there, and it just really accented that cherry wood nicely. So I took it and showed it to my wife, thinking that I could talk her into something.
That didn't work out?
Nah, not at all.
I think it'd be great.
Sheila's a
me
tough
too.
cookie.
I know it. It's just like she likes, but it's just like cabinets get tired after a while.
Yeah, they do.
You know, they just get tired after a while. And even if you can keep them clean the best you can, and change your knobs out or put knobs on them would be fun. And
I think if you went, what color do you want to do? Do you want to white it out, or what?
I don't know. See, I'm not the guy. I need to have a decorator
Designer,
come,
somebody tell you
designer
what to
come in
do?
and say, here's, think about this. Then I'd be more comfortable with it than
Yeah,
just
because
picking.
your house is maple everywhere, so you
It's
have
maple
to have
and
some
cherry
sort of
everywhere.
transition
I gotta
somewhere.
have something. Yeah. And
So I would do like a darker base because you have darker floors. So I'd do a darker base and then uppers a lighter color.
exactly. Yeah, I think so too.
There's your designer.
There it is. Yeah. The thing here's the fear. Right now we have natural. It's maple, natural.
Yeah.
High quality, all custom cabinets.
They're all worn though, and the finish
And they
is
are
coming
worn.
off.
And here's the thing for people who
Got
are
grease all
listening
over
and
Yeah,
they're
there's
looking at their
greasy.
kitchen. People are listening and looking at their kitchen thinking, well, I need to replace the kitchen cabinets. No, you don't.
No.
I mean, it's a box, with doors on it. And they're going to replace it with a box with doors on it, right?
Yeah.
You refresh those cabinets with some, new paint and a couple of knobs. And it's
Even new facing. Like
Yes.
I had I have a house coming on the market in Eagan, not too far from here, and it was like $16,000 for cabinet refacing, and they sent me the list of all their improvements that they've made since they've owned the home, and I'm like, these ones you're going to return the most, and one of them was the cabinet refacing that they did, and it was initially it was a Joe Miller home or whatever from back then, but they were oak, and the oak is just solid wood cabinet. It's a good cabinet. Pulled the fronts off, put in new fronts to change the style of the fronts because they were more like a raised panel cabinet, which would have been a style from like mid 90s, and now they're the kind of your Craftsman or Shaker fronts, which is more of what you see in newer construction homes. That's going to return, better. They got a new roof, they got some landscaping done, the deck, all these things. The painting, the bathroom remodels, they freshened up the cabinets, put fronts on all these things. These things this is the sexy stuff that adds value for buyers. They all expect a furnace, whether it's 10 years old or one, it's not much of a difference. The deck is there. We have maintenance-free decking versus wood decking. You're not going to get your $30,000 back out that you put in that deck.
No.
Right.
But refacing cabinets, repainting these things, and freshening up the look and feel of the property really helps to add value, and that's something that you guys provide.
That's exactly what I did with my own kitchen. Was I put on new faces, painted it out, and it looks wonderful compared to what it was
unless you're
before.
changing structure,
The
taking
boxes,
out,
the boxes are
you're
firm.
changing
They're
your
solid.
kitchen entirely. Like if you were to, like your kitchen for your home, your kitchen could be twice as big.
Yes, it could be.
So if you were to get rid of that dining space there and just make that all functional kitchen space, okay, well now let's take the cabinets out and do some new structure. And even maybe you don't even have to for your space if you wanted to line more cabinets and counter space and all that stuff over there because you have your dining space that's not too far away.
Right, that we never use.
Okay, now you're bringing in new cabinet space. But you would use it.
Yeah.
If you took that space for your kitchen. I'm not saying that that's necessary, but that's a situation where you now are bringing in new and maybe reconnoitering the entire kitchen space, which you don't necessarily have to do.
And the newer cabinets I find are more shallow than older cabinets. So some of the 12-inch plate
Not as much space.
won't even fit in a newer cabinet. I mean, I go into some of the new construction. We have a house coming on the market, Extapia Lane, and out in Lakeville, be on the market this week. And that house, it was a D.R. Horton house. It would cost $200,000 more to build that same house today. And the difference between the cabinets in that house and the cabinets in a new house built by the same builder is astonishing. That's one of the places where they've cut costs, obviously, is by putting in cheaper
product.
Yeah. And the trim, everything about it could be the same footprint, everything like that costs $200,000 more, and it's not as good. So that's the advantage of doing that. Keep your cabinets, have them painted, have them refinished if you like the wood thing.
Yep.
Put some knobs on or something like that if you want to change the style a little bit. But yeah, there's so much you can do with a paintbrush. I wrote an article this week for a magazine on the first 10 seconds when someone walks into a home. And I broke it down into the first 3 seconds, what they're feeling, the next 3 seconds what they're feeling, just kind of as they're moving through
Yeah.
that in the first 10 or 15 seconds when they walk through. Because the decision, a lot of times, whether they're going to like that house or buy that house or not buy that house is made in that first 10 seconds. They may still walk through it. They still walk through the house, smile, nod, yep, this is nice, look at different features, but they're internalizing what they like and what they don't like to be used on the next showing.
Mhm.
Don't you think that starts from the curb though as well?
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
nowadays from the computer screen,
Yes.
Oh.
you know.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing, just in, people, if you have this coming soon, like a house that's coming on the market,
Mm-hmm.
you'll get people that schedule showings right away, and then as you get up to the showing date, then you'll get cancellations,
Mm-hmm.
and people are
Because
like,
they've driven by.
because they've driven by or they looked at photographs a little bit closer or whatever the reason is. They're excited right away. They're excited, maybe because it fits generally their criteria, and
Yep.
then they take a closer look. And so, how do you avoid that? Like some of this preparation stuff certainly helps with that. But like your article, I'm interested to read this article.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'll
I'd like to
send
see
you
The
that.
first 10 seconds. Do.
Yeah.
What's really when the coming soon, to speak of the coming soon, and pictures. So you put a coming soon on the market, maybe with a kitchen shot or a front elevation shot, and then the agents start calling, got any pictures? Got any interior pictures? And I said, well, no, not yet. The photographer's going on. Well, can you let me know when you got some pictures? It's like, well, why don't you go look at the house? How about that one? Schedule a showing, and go look at the house.
Yeah.
There's an idea, and then
I can't do that from my kitchen table.
can't do that for my kitchen table. Exactly.
I share the story from a few years ago when I sold my townhouse. How you helped me,
Mm-hmm.
and you came in and we did the painting, we did carpet, we did all that. But then you came in and it was just boom, boom, boom. You took pictures, listed on a Monday, sold on a Thursday because all the prep was done ahead of time.
And it's all about the prep,
Yeah.
especially in a competitive market.
Yeah.
Because when you are having people that look at multiple homes, and they've looked at homes that are horribly prepared. We looked at one out in Cottage Grove last week. Pictures look great, but then you go in there and it was a flip from a company that advertises quite a bit on the radio. One of these buy the house deal, and it was just so cheesy. I mean, the flooring was the cheapest thing ever. And look at these hard floors. Look at these great floors. That's the cheapest stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to
You're going to have
curl
that
up.
peel off.
That's going to
shortly.
peel off when you slide the kitchen chair over it. And the paint job was bad, and they did it.
I'm going through it right now with a company and kind of counseling my past client on having that home being purchased from a corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of interesting. We can talk about that next segment. But Mike Sandus, Wow One Day Painting, WowOneDay.com.
WowOneDay.com.
Thanks for coming in. Real Estate Chalk Talk. We're going to head out to break. Call us 612-627-8000.
Hey, welcome back to the program. This is your Real Estate Chalk Talk. Kelvin Kamick, ladies and gentlemen. The Money Man, 651-231-2500. That's the hotline for the low interest rates, super duper low interest rates, shockingly low interest rates.
Kind of in comparison to other lenders.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yep, we did had a comparison on Tuesday with some of our friends in the 'cause we every so often somebody in our group is frustrated and they're like, hey God,
Yeah, let's
where are you
move.
at with this? Where are you at with that? And we always we come out all right on that. So it's but the market's tough. The market average rate is 6.4%, which is a good rate. You guys are always like, great rate, it's good. But it's not when you have a bunch of refinances that if you just get back to 5.875 where we were playing a little bit, we could load some stuff up there.
Oh, it's all about you, in other words.
It's about me
so
being
you
able
can churn.
It's about me being able to provide for my family and give a great value to my clients.
Okay.
Real estate market, what's going on? Moving, or are you guys just sitting on stuff again?
Nope, it's kind of moving through. We're at a down just a skosh from the previous week, but look, we had Easter. So
you always have an excuse why something isn't good.
There's
The weather.
The weather.
There's a reason for
there's
everything.
Probably,
We had
Civil unrest.
We had
Civil
flurries.
unrest.
We had flurries on
Civil
Tuesday, so
unrest.
that caused a little bit of a slowdown.
It's kind of breezy.
Yeah.
Did you feel that breeze?
It's
I felt it.
It's
I
like
couldn't
traffic.
go out. There's traffic.
But inventory's great. 5,500 homes or 6,500 homes on the market as opposed to 5,400 a year ago. or 5,600. I'm sorry, a year ago. So we're up just a skash of inventory. Sales are down just a little bit, but we had more snow this year, and we had stuff going on. We'll recover. It's going to be a good year. I think it's a good year. I think this market that we have right now is great. It's balanced. There's negotiations going on. There's time for people to get out and look at things and kick tires and do the things that people do when they're in their decision-making process without having to feel pressured and forced to make bad choices when they could take some time and be thoughtful and make good choices.
Yep.
So I'm happy with it.
I'd be happy if rates were just a little bit lower. We thought yesterday, yesterday the market opened up really nicely. Like, okay, here we go, because the talk of a 2-week ceasefire. We've talked about this 100 times, but we are such an emotionally driven society, and so are the markets, right? Emotionally driven markets as well. So markets got better, oil prices went down, rates came, suddenly you're like, okay, come on, little momentum, and then that went away by the end of the day. Price change. They freeze that. What happens in our industry is they shut down secondary or shut down the lock desks, so you can't lock loans. Then all the banks, everybody reprices, and then they come out with your new pricing. You're like, oh no, so, and then it always tells you it's improving or it's worsening, and I haven't seen a lot of improving. We get that overnight. All these lenders, and Loan Depot's no different. All the lenders, if it's improving, they're gonna kind of just hang tight.
Yeah.
And they're gonna wait, and then overnight they'll adjust it to see what happens overnight. But when it's worsening, man, bam, they hit it away. They're gonna hit it. We get alerts on our phones. We get this. It's like, man, if you have anything sitting, that you're just that you're waiting on, no, you just lock it up, and then we can bring it down.
That's like all the oil producers in Texas. They're all praying that there's mines planted in the over in the mid east because they're making more money, than they've made
selling.
in 10 years.
Yeah. So that's what's going on. 30-year fixed rates around 6 and 6.4. ARMs have moved away. We had a little time there where ARMs kind of were like, okay, here we go again. That's gone now. So it's kind of disappointing on our side a little bit.
That tells me that they don't have a good feel for what's coming.
Correct.
And they don't want to put an arm out there and get caught.
Correct.
Because they can't adjust. Or more importantly, if rates are going to go up, they don't know, so they don't want to lock themselves into an arm when they got a potential of having earning more money.
Right. Which goes to the third point, which is we have just a really unsettled market, a lot of uncertainty just in everything right now. So I think everybody's hedging their bets a little bit.
Do you think that AI is going to play into the volatility of the market because you've got this immediacy of information and immediacy of reaction time that it seems like rather than settling it with more information, it makes it more volatile because the information is coming so quickly and so frequently throughout the day?
So I don't know how AI would play into that, but there's so much news information in a 24-hour news cycle that it's quite honestly, they were talking about how World War I, World War II, our country would have never stomached it if they had the access that we have. I mean, you're on your phone, you're watching these things happen in real time. And, you think about those. You watched the nightly news and you found out what was happening. Now, I wasn't alive during that, obviously, but so it's very different with all the influx of news media that, I don't know, things come fast, and that's why the markets are so volatile. Because
so you're getting multiple price adjustments a day?
We'll get a couple a day.
They lock you down at that time, and then you have to wait for
whatever happens. But it's hard to go back to a client. So how do I go back to you and go, hey, you're going to be at 6.5. Market improvement, you're 6.625 now, or you just. So basically, what ends up happening is a company protects itself, right? But then the branch, or we take that hit or take that loss on that rate.
What do you do then when you've got a case where you have an extended closing time frame? Say we're going to close in 60 days or something like that, and so you're. The interest rates today make sense.
Yep.
But 30 days from now, they may be much lower or much higher. Or how do you deal with that?
Well, we'll lock the loan, and then we can lock it on a 30, 60, 90-day lock. And if we have to extend it, we can extend it at the same rate. If the rates go down, we have a float-down policy that allows us to go to where the market is. And everybody says they have that float-down policy, and ours is probably a little stronger than most, but the market has to improve quite a bit, to be honest, for that to move down. So,
what protects you then during that 60-day period from them going to lender number 2 and
finding a lower rate? Well, if they nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. People shop. We get people that want second opinions. We market. Get a second opinion. I market with all my realtors that I won't. If I get a closing disclosure or itemization, I'll always beat it. Guaranteed. Promise. I'll beat it.
Okay.
Right. So. Yeah, we're all in that game. So you just hope that the clients are loyal, and you're giving them a good deal. I know where we're sitting in the marketplace here because we're just plugged into all the major companies. We're good, So I know they're not going to find,
better.
Yeah,
something significantly different.
Yeah, so it'll be a little different. Wanted to talk real quick on just switch gears when we were talking about listings. So as you guys know, my son, myself, run this Flex Property Services, and he's doing right now. Yesterday he had 3 of them, but it's kind of a listing refresh. So so when you have that listing, when you're talking about that 10 seconds, when it triggered it, so I wrote it down. But their power, so they had one yesterday doing a power wash in the sidewalk, the patio area. So power washing that, they're spraying off the house, just like there's dirt and grime on the house. So they're power washing that.
A little spring cleaning.
Yep. Mow, trim, new mulch, and power wash. So kind of a package deal. So they're doing that right now. Prices are really good. So if someone's interested in that, or if there's other realtors saying, hey, I need that for this listing, I just need it refreshed a little bit, give me a call on that as well, and I'll pass that information along to Colin, and he'll
is so important to do that because the showing starts at the curb.
Yep.
And when people have, they're going through online, they're looking at the pictures and all that stuff. They pick a property. Many of them drive by that property before the showing. They drive by it to see how far it is from work or school or whatever. And they drive. If it looks like an abandoned house, that's it can be as nice as pie on the inside, backyard beautiful and all that stuff. But they look and it's like, oh man, overgrown this and dirty that, and it makes a huge difference.
So they're busy with that, which is kind of fun, right? So
this time of year is challenging for that.
Very challenging.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Things need to be cleaned up.
Yep, things do have to be cleaned up. And today they're busy, and tomorrow they're busy, which is cool. And the weather's going to be great tomorrow. Hopefully a round of golf tomorrow, first round of the year, maybe tomorrow. Nice. If you guys are interested. But anyway, give me a call on that, 651-231-2500. That is for the listing refresh program that they have through 2K Landscape. So that's good. Need to know. I was curious what your thoughts are. Well, give me your thoughts real quick. We have a minute left. Give me your thoughts real quick on listings that you have that are for sale, and then buyer needs real quick, just so we get that out into the public.
Listing coming on the market right now, one in Rosemont, 2-story in Rosemont, 3 bedrooms up. It's a D.R. Horton built.
Turn your volume
property.
off on your phone.
Does it? Can you hear that? Just I gotta be sure. I might have something coming in.
Sheila, the dogs out at home.
Yeah, I got something coming in. 21217 Ixania Lane, on the market, $645,000. On the market in Lakeville, 5-bedroom, beautiful house, almost 4,000 square feet. 100 Peninsula Road. In Medicine Lake, $1.5 million coming on the market.
Wow.
14422 Atwater Way in Rosemont, coming soon. $450,000 will be hit the market this week. Beautiful house. 165 Burnhamwood Drive in Burnsville. $300,000. Nice walkout rambler for if you're an empty nester. We got for
$300,000.
$300,000.
That's great price, right?
We got one out in Jordan, $1,885,000. Horse Farm, gorgeous property coming on. This is fabulous property coming on the market.
We're out of time, Senior.
Okay, I gotta go.
Thanks for giving me 1 second to go out at least. This is Real Estate Chalk Talk. Call us 612-627-8000. We'll see you next week.